Hey there, I am going to show you today how to set up an email address inside the email host of your choice and then be able to have that forwarded to a Gmail account and never have to go back to that primary email account again. That means that you can send from your Gmail account as using that domain name using, we'll do an example with beckatepper.com. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all, in case you can see this camera, I'm going to turn that off. Just wanted to say hello, introduce myself, and here we go. Okay, so we're going to do this in GoDaddy. It works similarly in all other email hosts. Email host is typically the same as your website hosting. So we're talking about, wherever you've got your website hosted, that's where you're going to go in and do something similar to this. You're going to go into the email section of your account. And for GoDaddy, that is here, Manage Workspace Email. Once you're in here, you can see all of the email addresses that have already been set up that are associated with your various domains. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a new email address by going to Create. And we're going to create a new email address for beckatepper.com. So we're going to call this one support@beckatepper.com. And then we're going to set up a password. Confirm it. And then let's take a look at the additional options. On the additional options, that's where you can assign a quota. Now, what I'm suggesting is that you're going to get very little email into this address if everything goes to your Gmail account. So you could set that up very low. For now, I'll set this one up to 100 megabytes. And also you can create a catch-all account. So if this is the only email account that you're setting up, or in this case, it's a support email, we're going to make this a catch-all account. That means that anything coming to beckatepper.com domain that is not to an email address that is recognized, that message, instead of bouncing, it will come into this account. And we're going to create. So we're going to agree to the terms, and we're going to create. Oh, there's already a catch-all for this domain, so that's fine. Probably that's Becca, since that was the only account until now. So let's not make it a catch-all. Okay, so now we're all set up. So now what we can do is get everything ready in the Gmail account. So what I'm going to do for the moment is I'm going to attach it to my Gmail. And since I don't have Becca's login, but okay, so this is my Gmail account. So what you're going to do in your Gmail account that you want to add it to is you're going to go into your Gmail settings. Now, in the meantime, it's also important to note that when that account is set up, then you'll get an email. So we'll check that in a few minutes. And that email will give you the login to the GoDaddy workspace email that you just set up. Okay, and you're going to have to access that to get all of this set up one time. So now you go into your Accounts and Import tab. And here is where you can set up your other send from email addresses. And once you set this up, so there's two parts to this. There's send mail as, and then you're also going to set up the account, the webmail account, to forward all messages to your Gmail account, and then to delete them from that account. So once we log in there, we can do that part. But for now, let's set up this other piece, which is to add another email address you own. Okay, so this is going to be Becca Tepper support. And this is support at beccatepper.com. And treat, we're not going to treat as an alias. Treat as an alias. Let's see exactly what that even means. Okay, so setting to manage send mail as account behavior. So when you use Gmail send mail as to send messages on behalf of a different account, Gmail treats your send mail as address as an alias of your primary address. So yeah, you would want to do that normally. In my case, because it's Becca's account, I probably don't want to do that, but you can play around with that setting. And then we're going to go on to the next step. Okay, so now in order to do this, we have to have that username and password for Becca's SMTP server. So we will now go and get that. All right, so now we got the message from GoDaddy that webmail is ready. So we're going to log in there. Using the password that you just created. If you don't have something like RoboForm, I would definitely recommend it. You can find it at robtepper.com/roboform. Great tool, saves a tremendous amount of time and pain. Okay, so away RoboForm. Add calendar, we don't need to do that right now. But this is a regular email account and you can use this as it is. But what we're talking about doing is number one, we're talking about setting up some settings here. So we need to go into Tools, Email Setup Center. All right, so now going back to here, we are ready to add the account. We have the information that we need, and we'll show you that next. Interesting. Okay, so now going back here, what we want to do is to go into the Email Setup Center, which when you click on it, it will open up. I've already got it open here. And the Email Setup Center will give you the information that you need. So the reason that didn't work is because the SMTP needs to be set to this. And so let's try that instead. And then let's see if it gives a port number. It says any of these port numbers would work. 80, 25, I think 465 is a choice. Let's go and double check. 465. Let's do 465. And then the password for that email account that we set up a few minutes ago. And this time it should work. Actually, let's just double check whether it says SLS or SSL or TTL. SSL. So everything you need is given to us on a silver platter. We just have to know where to find it. Okay, so add account. And look at that. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to send an email to this account, and we're going to have to get that confirmation code and put it in here in order to complete the setup. So let's go back and check that. One of the things that I also learned is that on my Mac, that Java script didn't work for the workspace email, so I had to wind up logging in to do it on Firefox. So we're in here. If we go back here, we can just go to launch. That's another way to get into your email account, your webmail, once it's set up. So launched it, and there we are. You don't have to put in username and password if you do it that way. And so now we should have gotten this message, Gmail confirmation, send mail as. So that is what we're looking for. If we click on that, that will automatically update that setting that we were just looking at. So now what will happen is if we just close the window, and we see right here that Becca Tepper is approved. Mail. Okay, so that just got set up, and now we can use that as one of the send mail as. So that part is done. Now the second part is, and by the way, these things here, there's more and more information that Google is adding. So when I added the rest of these, that information didn't show up, but it will probably show up for you. Okay, now the next step is that we want to be able to, you might want to import your mail if you have an account already set up, which I think you do. But if you don't, then you don't have to do that. Now this is the second piece, is that you want to check your mail from there also, so that you never have to go onto that account. And earlier I said that you could do that directly from that webmail app, but I realize that's not true. This is the way to do it. Now we're going to have to do the same thing. We have to go and look at those settings. So we're going to need the POP server setting. We've got the email address. Let's take a look at the settings here. I think it's open over here. Yeah. So now we're talking about, instead of outgoing, we're talking about incoming. So it's secureserver.net, and the username and email address are the same, so we'll put that in. I guess they don't have to be. But through GoDaddy they are. Same password. And then we've got to choose that server. That's secureserver.net. I think I copied that already. No. Pop.secureserver.net, and let's look at the port. The port is 995 or 110. 110 looks fine. And I don't know enough about the SSL, but it's a higher level of security, so you could use that. Okay, now here is where you can choose to leave a copy of that mail on the server, and then you can log in and look at it there also, or you can take it off. So as soon as you check it, so what's going to happen is you're going to check it from your Gmail. As soon as it moves over to your Gmail, you will delete it, and that's why you don't need to have any storage allocation or very limited storage allocation for that email. And let's see, we could, so this is how you would set to use a secure connection, and if we're going to do that, then let's go back and see what that would be. And I would say you might as well set it up for secure, better security, why not? If you've got that 995 port, we do. So let's make sure that's right one more time. Okay, 995 and pop.secureserver.net. And then we'll label incoming messages. And you can choose to archive them, which would put them right in a folder and wouldn't even come into your inbox. Okay, so now we're going to add that. Done. Now, so it's already added, and we can check mail starting right now, so we don't have to do any other setup. So you are done. All right, I hope that was helpful. Let me just review real quickly that you've got these two places that you're going to go. You're going to log into your email hosting provider. In our case, it's GoDaddy. You're going to navigate to the email management tool. You're going to create a new email address if you haven't already created it. If you've already got it set up on a workspace somewhere, then you can start at that point and just do the steps through Gmail. And that, my friends, is all she wrote. Good luck. I hope that that was helpful and useful, and I look forward to hearing about all of your successes. Rob Tepper, over and out.